So I just read book number 5 in the Dune saga, and it's Heretics of Dune, which I once again really enjoyed. So before even starting the video, once again, spoiler alert. I'll try to not spoil this book actually, but just because I'll be talking about stuff that happens in previous book. If you've not read the book before this one, spoiler alert. So if you've not read them, go read them and then watch the video afterwards. So stop watching right away. Got some notes in here. I'll try to not read too much. So I just finished reading the book, so I just took some time to write my thoughts, and I'm just doing this review right away because I want to start reading the 6th book right after this video actually. So before talking about the whole story of the book, I'm just gonna talk about some thoughts I had while reading the book. So firstly, one thing I really enjoyed is that the Duncan Gola persona is back again, which I really enjoyed. But now we got to see Duncan younger. He don't have yet his memories. He's still young, he's still learning stuff. So I really enjoyed that we got to see another part of Duncan that we've not seen before. There's so for the ones that are sensitive, there's more sex and violence in this one. The violence is still in the background, but it's less than in previous books. In previous books, the violence was never described that much. I feel like here it's a bit more described, and the sex scenes also are more described in here than in the other books. And even I feel like sex had a more prominent place in this book than in the other ones. I like how the different religions in this book have all the same quote-unquote roots, so the kind of the same beginnings, but they just don't agree on the format the religion is supposed to be, because some of the religions agree on the meaning, but just not, once again, kind of the format the religion should have. And I really enjoyed that. I like that we're 1500 years in the future, after Leto died actually, because we're more than just 1500 years in the future. But I like that it takes part 1500 years after the tyrant, god, emperor, prophet persona died, and we see the aftermath of that persona actually, and how people evolved from everything that happened before this book actually, which I really enjoyed again. The message of this book is once again about religion, politics and science, and the danger of mixing these 3 things together. But I also like that maybe it's just something that I didn't fully get from previous books, but I really enjoyed that here. We got a sense of planning for the future, because if humanity wants to survive, they have to stop thinking short term and start thinking long term actually, which is something that I really enjoyed. And here, long term is not like planning for the next century or something, not even like it's planning way ahead, like thousands of years, maybe even millions of years in the future, to make sure that humanity survives actually. And lastly, the other concept that I really enjoyed in this book, and I'm pretty sure it was still in book number 4. I'm not sure if it was in the previous trilogy though, but I guess so, because the Gola is not a new thing in Dune. The Duncan Gola was there from book number 2. But something that I really enjoyed is, when you clone yourself or you transpose your mind into, let's say, a computer, an AI, or even another human being, sorry, is that continuation of your mind is still you or something entirely different, actually? And that's a topic that I really enjoyed here within that book, actually. So on with this story. As I said previously, this book is set 1500 years after the death of Leto II, so the God Emperor in book number 4. And now power is shared with all these different factions, all these different, not only religions, but there's like merchants involved. So you have the Bene Gesserit, so religious sisterhood. You have the honored matre. I'm not gonna pronounce that right, but the honored matre, let's say. Again, a religious sisterhood. We've got the Lost Ones. I wasn't sure if the Lost Ones, the ones from the Scattering, and the honored matres were all kind of the same without being the same. This is something that I enjoyed. It's not clear if they're the same or not really. So my guess is they're not really exactly the same people. We've got X9, IX for 9 Dixians. We've got the Guild and Tleilaxu. Once again, I'm not sure if Tleilaxu is... We could say that they are with the honored matres. They kind of are together, but not really. And I've got a feeling like maybe their relationship is not going to be that good in book 6. So another Gola Duncan is made, and the Tleilaxu made that Gola with a goal in mind. So I felt like the Gola was there to put all these different factions into conflict, so to bring a war. That's something that I always thought while reading the book. Near the end, though, we learned that it's more complicated than just this. But yeah, I really enjoyed, the part that Duncan had during the book, actually. There's a girl who can talk to Worm on Arrakis. Now it's only called Rakis on Dune. She can talk to worms. It's never said in the book. I might be missing something here, but I don't think it's ever mentioned. But I do feel like she might be an Atreides, so Shiana. Funny thing, every time I was reading her name, I always thought like Sheena, and I had the Ramones song in my mind every time I was reading. Like, Sheena is a punk rocker, so I was always had that song in my mind, even though her name is Shiana and not Sheena. Just for whatever reason, I never saw that A until the end of the book, actually. But the story is mainly about a clash of different religions that kind of has the same message, or kind of the same faith, quote unquote, and kind of clash of different interpretations of the same message, of the same faith. And I, once again, really enjoyed that, and kind of the trappings of having these religious fanatics governing everything, kind of, and the problems of having all of these fanatics controlling every decisions. Actually, I really enjoyed that once again. I feel like the books are getting better and better. I know the 6th one is the final one that Mr. Herbert wrote before he died. It was supposed to be so the goal was to have two different trilogy. Book number 4 was just a bridge between the two trilogies, so there's one book missing, and I know that his son wrote the sequel to Dune, so 2 books, Hunters of Dune and Worms of Dune. I don't know yet if I'll read these 2 books. Let me know if I should. I think that it just depends how the 6th book ends. But once again, it just depends how book number 6 gonna end, if I'm going to be reading the sequels, or if you guys tell me like you really need to read these books. I'm not gonna read the prequels, nor the in-between, because I know they wrote books happening in between books of Dune. I don't want to read them right now. I'm going to read them sometime. It's just that I've got so many books I want to read that I'm just going to wait a little bit for these other books, actually. Maybe, when the second Dune movie is coming, maybe that will be a good time to read the prequels and the in-betweens. But that being said, as I said, I just want to read other stuff before reading these books. So once again, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the other one. Peace out.